Have you ever wondered why some wars and battles remain etched in our minds, not just as bloody conflicts, but as mysteries that still haunt human history? Imagine standing on a battlefield centuries later, the wind whispering secrets of fallen empires, and realizing that not everything about the past has been explained. Wars are not just about soldiers and weapons. They are stories of survival, betrayal, strange disappearances, and secrets buried deep in time. And tonight, we uncover the top 10 wars and battles in the world's history, where fact and mystery collide. Let's begin with one of the most legendary conflicts of all, the Trojan War. Was it history, or was it myth? Ancient poets like Homer described a war fought for love, where kings, heroes, and even the gods themselves seemed to play their part. The image of the great wooden horse sneaking soldiers into the heart of Troy is unforgettable. But here's the strange thing. Did it really happen that way, or was it just a symbolic tale? Archaeologists have found ruins in the area believed to be Troy, signs of fire and destruction, but the truth of the war remains hidden. Was Helen truly the face that launched 1,000 ships, or was this story just a way to explain a lost civilization's fall? Moving forward in time, we arrive at the Battle of Thermopylae, a clash that feels almost like legend. Imagine 300 Spartans holding back a massive Persian army. How could so few resist so many? Was it discipline, terrain, or something more mysterious? Historians debate the numbers, some saying the Persian army was exaggerated, while others suggest the Spartans' sacrifice was meant to send a message that courage could outlast overwhelming power. But the mystery remains. Why did this story survive so strongly? Was it because of the bravery itself, or because there was something strange about how events unfolded? Another battle surrounded by uncertainty is the Battle of Gaugamela, where Alexander the Great faced the Persian king Darius. Alexander's army was smaller, but somehow he won against impossible odds. Was it brilliant strategy, or did fate play a role? Some say strange omens guided Alexander, that he believed destiny was on his side. But destiny is hard to measure, and what we know for sure is that this battle changed the course of history forever, giving birth to one of the greatest empires the world had ever seen. Now, picture the misty fields of Hastings in 1066. William the Conqueror defeated King Harold, forever changing England. But historians still argue about what really happened that day. Was Harold killed by an arrow through the eye, as famous tapestries suggest? Or was that just symbolic art? Was the battle's outcome inevitable? Or were there mysterious moments when history could have turned in an entirely different direction? Every clue feels like a puzzle piece, but some will always be missing. And then, centuries later, the 100 Years' War burned across Europe. Not one battle, but a series of conflicts that stretched on for over a century. This war saw the rise of Joan of Arc, a teenage girl who claimed she was guided by voices from beyond. How could someone so young lead armies and inspire nations? Was she divinely guided, or was it the power of belief itself that carried her forward? Her story ends in tragedy, but the mystery of her vision still stirs questions that historians cannot answer with certainty. Wars and battles like these do not just reveal military might, they leave behind mysteries that echo through time. And as we move into even more dramatic and world-changing conflicts, you'll see how the strange and unexplained often stand side by side with historical fact. But before we move on, think about this. If you stood on the battlefield of Troy, or Thermopylae, or Hastings, what would you really see? And what truths would still be hidden from view? History's greatest wars didn't just end in bloodshed. They opened the door to mysteries that remain unsolved even today. Let us continue with one of the most brutal and defining conflicts of all, the American Civil War. This was more than just North versus South. It was a war about freedom, unity, and the soul of a nation. But hidden within its battles are mysteries that go beyond politics. Entire regiments reportedly vanished in the fog of war, never fully explained. Letters from soldiers described strange lights in the sky, omens they believed foretold victory or defeat. Were these natural events, or something history never fully recorded? Then came World War I, the so-called war to end all wars. The trenches stretched for miles, soldiers lived through unimaginable horror, and yet stories emerged of miraculous events. Some soldiers claimed visions of ghostly archers guided them in moments of despair. Others spoke of strange disappearances, men who entered battle but were never seen again, with no records of their fate. Was it chaos, confusion, or something unexplained? Even today, researchers try to understand the psychological and mysterious elements that accompanied the world's first global war. Not long after, the world was shaken again by World War II, a conflict so vast it touched every corner of the globe. This war is filled with mysteries, secret codes that took years to crack, battles where weather seemed to intervene, and strange disappearances of entire ships and planes. Think of the mysterious case of Flight 19, a group of planes that vanished in the Bermuda Triangle during training, never to be found. The war ended with the rise of nuclear power, but it also left behind questions that may never be fully answered. As the world recovered, battles continued in different forms. The Vietnam War was not just a struggle of armies but of minds and endurance. Soldiers wrote home about eerie jungles, about hearing voices when no one was there, about seeing things that defied explanation. Was it stress, exhaustion, or something that made the land itself feel haunted? This war became one of the most controversial in modern history, filled with unanswered questions about decisions, outcomes, and its lasting impact on those who lived through it. But wars are not only modern stories. The Napoleonic Wars left mysteries too, especially at Waterloo. Napoleon was considered a genius, a man who seemed unstoppable, yet he fell that day. Some say the rain and mud doomed his army, others whisper about miscommunication and betrayal. But could the downfall of such a legendary figure really come down to weather alone? Or is there something more behind the story? And let us not forget the wars of lost civilizations, the collapse of the Mayans, the mysterious decline of the Indus Valley civilization, the conflicts that may have torn apart great empires. These are battles we cannot even fully trace. Were they wars of survival, civil wars, or invasions that history forgot to record? We may never know. As we look back at these top 10 wars and battles, one thing becomes clear. History is not just written in stone. It is written in whispers, in mysteries, in stories that survive because they stir something deep in us. When we talk about Troy, Thermopylae, Hastings, the American Civil War, or the World Wars, we are not just talking about strategy and leaders. We are talking about human courage, strange events, unexplained disappearances, and secrets that keep us wondering. So, what do you think? Which of these wars or battles carries the greatest mystery? Was it the fall of Troy, the voices that guided Joan of Arc, the ghostly visions of World War I, or the strange disappearances of World War II? History is filled with questions, but perhaps that's what makes it so alive. If you enjoyed this journey into the mysteries of war, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your perspective helps uncover new layers of the past. And, if you're ready for more, check out our other videos on history's greatest mysteries, where the past never stops speaking and the secrets never truly fade.